beard fascinated her. Unusual attire was common in New York. Thanks to on and off Broadway theaters, television studios, and Madison Square Garden, the city attracted actors and musicians, circus and rodeo performers. And like every city, New York had its share of pimps and prostitutes, hobos and drunks. But something about his beard seemed incongruous, either the color or texture. She decided another casual glance wouldn't be considered rude if she pretended to be looking for someone. When she turned, the man's face was blocked from view, but she did see one gloved hand holding a black, well-made umbrella. Odd, for the unseasonably warm and dry day. But then, homeless people often wore and carried bizarre items. She turned away. A child reaching into a box of Cracker Jacks reminded her that she hadn't eaten anything since breakfast. The distant sound of an approaching train merged with the rumbling in her stomach. A shattering blow on her right shoulder sent her crashing to her knees. A shrill screech ricocheted off the concrete. Outraged by what she perceived as a careless act of exuberance from one of the students, Charlie turned to glare. The bearded man in the military overcoat hovered above her, brandishing the furled umbrella, threatening anyone who dared intervene. His eyes were cold and determined. The grandfather was dragging the bewildered boy with the violin case away. One of the shoppers, blocking her head with her arms, screamed. The schoolgirls covered their faces or clung to one another. "Run! Get help!" Charlie shouted at the nearest girl, fearing the crazed man would turn on one of them. No one moved. She tried crawling away from the platform's edge. The vicious umbrella was hurling toward her head. As she dove to avoid it, the sharp tip caught her scalp. Blood streamed into her eyes, blurring her vision. "Please, please, no more," she begged the crazed man. She could hear the train getting closer over the chilling screams. "Get back! Back, the train!" a woman yelled. "She's bleeding. Leave her alone. If it's money you want, take the damn bag and let her go." "The train!" a girl's shrill voice shouted. Oh my God! Look at the blood! Somebody make him stop!" "Please, please!" Charlie tried to shield her head with her arm and caught a wave of punishing blows on her back and shoulders. Her hand felt the platform's edge. She flattened her torso against the concrete and inched away from the terrifying abyss. A violent jab caught her rib. She heard it snap. Instinctively, she drew her knees to her chest and tried to protect her head with her hands. A series of searing kicks pummeled her arms, hands, and spine. She writhed in pain, pleading for her attacker to stop. And then she was falling, locked in a fetal position, plummeting into nothingness. The sudden jolting pain of impact. She could hear the echoing thunderous roar of the train, the screeching brakes, squealing sounds coming from every direction. The vibrating rails beneath her body grew increasingly stronger. A flashing light lit the black tunnel and the oncoming train. She had no time to think. She flung herself at the nearest wall. Her last conscious thought was the rush of air, the earth trembling, and that hideous, grating, steel against steel, endless shriek. "We're almost there," the man holding her hand promised. Through her swollen eyes, Charlie saw the troubled look on his dark-lined face. "Hang on," he said, "just a few more blocks. Damn this rush-hour traffic." She realized she was in an ambulance. She could hear the wailing siren, feel the vehicle making its way through traffic, slowing to a crawl and accelerating again. Lights flashed through the rear window. The stretcher that supported her felt like a bed of broken glass. Though every crack in the pavement increased her agony, Charlie prayed they would go faster. She was afraid she would die before they reached a hospital and help. "Damn trucks," a woman standing next to her said, wearing what appeared to be a man's uniform. "Why don't they pull over? The cops should ticket every bastard who refuses to pull over. Some lousy bum grabs her purse and pushes her in front of a train. He couldn't just take the purse and run. He had to shove her off a subway platform in front of a train." "Sometimes I hate this lousy city," the man said. "What's her pressure?" Charlie couldn't hear the response. She wanted to tell them about the bearded man with the umbrella, but when she